Hello.
Hi, this is Elaine Beery with Coffee and One Ting, and this is Team Beery, and we are ready and caffeinated and motivated.
Here we go.
And we have our coffee for the month is our gold coffee, and it's a Kona coffee, but it's not as strong as a lot of the Kona coffee, so that is awesome. And that's our little special today, and our... If you missed our guest speaker from last week, you need to go check it out on episode 24 because he had some amazing things for us to look into about appraising. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about some tips that you need to know when that appraiser is about to visit. So what do you think? What's your first tip?
Don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry.
Be happy.
They do understand that you're going to be packing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal.
fret.
They actually expect those boxes to
Right.
be scattered
Right.
around, and it's a little discombobbled. It's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
And usually the appraisal inspection's after the home inspection.
Right.
So don't expect it to be the same.
Right.
That would be one thing I remember.
Yeah.
It's going to take, he's
what about-
gathering information.
He's just gathering information.
Right.
And
Yeah, as far as I'm so sorry, but as far as boxes go, just make sure that when you have boxes and stuff, you're not filling one room so that they can't see the walls. So don't overload one
he said
area.
a garage would be okay, but
Garage is fine, but the
not-
bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can see the walls and the space.
That is a
Yes.
good point. That is a good point.
Okay. Back
And, like,
to you.
turning some lights on. Make sure that all the lights on have a
So
nice
they can see.
good view of all of your asset, because that's
Right.
really all they're looking for. They're not looking at your stuff, they're looking at your home.
Yeah, they're checking bedrooms, bathrooms, and verifying space.
Right.
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 Declutter your yard from landmines from the dock.
Ah,
Occupational hazards.
as he would call them.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a good point.
Yeah.
He says it kind of makes them think, hey, if they're not taking care of this, what else are they missing? What
Right.
else are they not taking care of? So it's kind of a tip off for
Right.
them.
Yep.
Or clean and neat, right? We always talk about
Yeah.
that. Clean and neat goes
Just
a
as
long
if it was
way.
a showing. Like,
Exactly.
Just act like it's a showing.
And you've already
Gone
probably
through all
done
that.
all of this
Yeah.
stuff because
Yeah.
here you are. This is you're under contract, and this is one of the phases of that. So you've
Right.
probably all done this stuff, but just a
Yeah.
reminder.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
Um,
What about just the clutter and stuff of being disorganized? Okay, there's stuff on the counters. We're not worried about that. He doesn't care. He just wants to see what the counters are.
So you can't be completely covered.
Yeah. I guess if you have all your packages.
well, you'd have to have a blanket over the countertop and then boxes on top. So
Yeah, we hope you're not
Probably
doing
not
that.
going to.
Yeah.
We're hoping
You
not.
know, just in case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And then allow them space because they do photograph every room for their report. So, and they're not allowed to have people in their photos.
Right.
So allow them space to do that and, to do their
And I
work.
thought that was a good point because people don't really think about that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and more people, he mentioned, more people are working from home. And like, if you're on a conference call, he said he can blur you out, but preferably, right, let them.
well,
them do their
don't
thing.
follow him around, and then he'll ask you, or the appraiser, whether it's a female or male, they'll ask you questions afterwards if they need to know.
If they
anything.
need anything
Yeah.
to know.
Right.
Right.
And of course, one of the things that we do on our team is we're asking up front when you're listing your property what upgrades you've done, and we help you compile a list.
Yeah.
And that list, having that list for the appraiser, is something
It's
that we
typically
do.
in
With
that
with
realm.
the approximate cost and
Right.
Right. But, that helps them.
That does
Right.
help a
It's
lot.
informational. It helps. And so
Yes.
you won't have to try to remember, I need to tell them all this stuff.
Right, because we've already covered all that. If you work with Team Beery.
Yeah.
And you should.
And you should.
Because we're amazing.
That's it. And then the other thing that I always try to tell people, and this is something that he made a comment to, is what you see that 15 or 20 minutes that they're in your home is not all that they actually do.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And so it's like, it's just the tip of the iceberg. They have a huge part of their job is where you don't actually get to see. And so so I think people get disgruntled because they're like, well, for 15 minutes and he made...
How do they know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of extra due diligence that they do.
Well, they're only mad if it doesn't come in where they want.
That's true.
Right.
But they do a lot of research. It's a research-based
It's all
job.
researched, yeah.
Most of it's research with a little bit of inspection, I would
Right.
say.
And then their official report is big.
Huge.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of information.
Right.
So they write all that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And what's interesting is at the end of all of this, value is what everybody wants to get to, right?
Yeah, that's
like
the
what is
bottom
the value
line.
of it? But they're not going to know what the value is when they first walk into your house. So that question is kind of moot. You know, just let them do their thing, and the seller, will find out through the course of.
Well, they do their
what-
inspection, and then what they come up with establishes the value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it
You
goes.
mean I'm not supposed to say I'm not letting you in unless you tell me?
Wouldn't recommend it, but you can.
a little tough.
Let me be there. I want to see how that works out
But like you said,
for
the
your sellers,
the client
not mine.
the client is actually how he sees it, the bank. And
Yeah,
so-
the lender.
That's true.
So,
He works for the
so
lender.
he works for the lender, and so to ask certain questions and things, he doesn't feel that's appropriate to give that kind of information anyway.
Right.
So
And that's something we're familiar with, and we know when that report is submitted, that report goes to the lender.
right,
And actually, the buyer paid for it.
yeah,
Then it's
So
the
it's
buyer's
not-
product at that
Yeah,
point.
it's not the seller's
No.
product.
They
Yeah.
didn't pay for it. It actually belongs to the buyer.
Right.
And as a seller, you may never see. Well,
You may
as a
only know-
listing agent,
yeah.
we don't.
Right.
We
You-
don't
see it
often
unless
see
You
it.
may
it's
only
less
know
than-
that it appraised at value. May
Yeah.
never know what it
Right.
really appraised at.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to get to know. But that's
Yeah.
okay because
that
that's
can be
all you need to
confusing.
know. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
going into it. So
For sure. So there has been a lot of tips. Wes was a delight to have on our
Right.
Yeah.
show. I was
Good
just
information.
Very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited. So, if you know somebody who's buying or selling a home, like, share, and subscribe to them, and make sure that
Beery.
you come check us out. We've got a lot more tips for you this month. So always use a Beery Good team.
Have a good day.
Bye, y'all.
And that's beer with a Y for Scott.